Hey, what's going on guys? Ben here from RuneCraftpc, and today I'm going to be talking about Invention, the money sink in the game. Oh wait, I mean the new high-level elite skill released into RuneScape 3. So, I'm going to be going over every aspect of Invention, my opinion on the skill so far, and what I think it's doing to the game. So, what is Invention? A lot of people will already know what Invention is, so I won't go too much into depth, but it's basically the basis of the skill is to disassemble items in the game, be it a few GP of fishing bait or maybe a dry gore. You can disassemble anything to gain materials. With these materials you can then create new gizmos and new perks to add on to different weapons. That's what Invention is, and that's how you train the skill. Disassemble items and you create new ones, and there you go. It's a beautiful thing. However, it's not quite as good as I thought it would be, and I'll go into how it's such a money sink in just a little bit, but I understand why it's not as good as I thought it was going to be. So, the main reason I was looking forward to it, as most people, is you can create perks for weapons. So, what I did when Invention came out is I started disassembling items. I actually disassembled 11 mil worth of mid-level to high-level items like DFSs and Furies, to get these materials to create new weapon gizmos, which I could then attach onto my dry gores. However, I found after quite a few attempts that with every positive you'd get, there'd most likely always be a negative. This isn't always the case, however, you can luck out and get a fully positive gizmo, which is really good for your weapon and, amazing to use, and there we go, your weapon is buffed. However, most of the time, with every gizmo you make to attach to your weapon, there will be something good, but usually a drawback as well. An example of this is I made a gizmo where I had equilibrium, which basically meant I had my minimum hit had been increased by 3%, however my maximum hit had been decreased by 3%, like the equilibrium aura. Quite a popular aura, used quite a lot, and I was quite happy with that perk on my weapon. However, along with that, I got a second perk which was committed, which means every time I wear the weapon, I am sculpted. So, that kind of pissed me off. There's kind of always a drawback. Of course, people may comment down below like, oh, I got this amazing perk, blah blah blah. But as many people have experienced, there is a drawback to most of the weapon gizmos you make. So it's not quite as good. And I understand that as a drawback. It shouldn't be as easy as disassembling 10 mil of items, getting this amazing perk that you can attach onto your dry gores, and off you go. PVM is even easier than it is already. Because that would just have a counter effect on the economy and what they're trying to do with the skill, it being a money sink. If you could easily make these really cool perks, add them to your weapon, and then it's amazing. It would increase your kill time, it would increase the amount of kills you could do per trip, the minimum amount of people per boss, such as Virago, you'd be able to do 4-man easier. And it would basically mean it would lead to more drops coming into the game as bossing is getting easier and easier. And it would have a counter effect on the economy because, again, there'd be more demand than there is, more supply than there is demand. So that's why they haven't made it easy to get these amazing perks, and I fully understand that. However, doesn't seem worth it at all trying to get these perks, and it would take a long time to luck out and get these all pro really good perks that do, are even worth putting on something as good as a dry gore or a tin 90 weapon. So how is Invention a money sink? Well, as I said, the whole basis around the skill is disassembling items into materials. So you could disassemble really cheap items such as fishing bait or vials, and you most likely get junk materials. To get these really good materials, sometimes you have to disassemble higher level items such as god swords or furies, or kind of more expensive stuff. For example, you can disassemble any Bandos item to get a Bandos material, and that can be used to make certain perks regarding the Bandos god and everything. So, there's specialist materials that you can only get from disassembling certain items, which is why you're not just going to be able to disassemble vials until you get to level 99. And it's also a money sink because you get nothing in terms of GP back from the skill at all. So you could disassemble a Drygor, say buy to 30 mil, you got some materials, and with that you can make a weapon gizmo, but you can't sell the weapon gizmo. The 30 mil Drygor is gone forever. Bye. Nice seeing you. So that's how it's a money sink, and it's basically a, it's a buyable skill. It's a massive buyable skill. It's not just, yeah, you need these Bibles, but you also need this much time. If you have a lot of money, you can just buy the skill outright and get it done very quickly, which is why it's a kind of a bad money sink. However, the actual money sink itself is very good on the game and the economy. RuneScape 3 has needed a money sink, a big one, for a long time now, because a lot of people are doing a lot of bossing and PVMing, farming, skilling, anything. A lot of items are coming into the game. A lot more items are coming in than going out of the game. So the economy is slowly getting worse and worse. Prices of most items are going down. Very rarely do you see a big spike in price of items. And when you do, it's usually due to a good update that Jagex have made. The other thing I don't like about Invention is that it is very easy to level. And I mean extremely easy to level. As I said before, if you have money, you can get level 99. It was kind of astonishing and also very stupid that someone actually managed to get level 99 divination within the first 30 hours. Sorry, did I say divination? Invention within the first 30 hours of the skill being released. So, 30 hours to get level 99, that shouldn't be possible on any skill in the game. And it's just horrible, and it's proving that it's just a money sink skill and it's not worth it being a skill at all. In fact, it should be more of a mini game, if anything. So yeah, level 99 within 30 hours, and don't quote me, but it's only been, it's the 26th now, it came out on the 25th, but I'm pretty sure someone has already got level 116 in the Invention skill, which shouldn't be possible. It really shouldn't be. So people have, people got their max capes back within the first 30 hours if they had money. If they had a huge amount of money and they could just spend, go hard on the skill, then it was very easy. It's kind of AFK if you have a big bulk of items, and it doesn't take much effort at all. It doesn't take much brain power, doesn't take much grinding. You can just get it done. It's a very easy skill. All it takes is money and the base stats of 80 divination, crafting and smithing. So I don't like the fact that they disguised a massive money sink as a skill that is so easy to level. They could have at least made it difficult to level, or a longer process at least. It doesn't have to be a hard skill. Maybe it could be a grind. It doesn't have to be difficult, but just longer. Level 99 in 30 hours is just stupid, absolutely stupid. But it is what it is. It's the decision they made. So even though I've just been bashing Invention for quite a while, I still think it's good for the game. As I said, I don't like the skill. I don't like the way they made the skill. I don't like what you have to do to get a high level on the skill, basically spending a lot of money, but it's good for the game because the money sink has been needed for a long time. So although I don't agree on how they've introduced the money sink, or how the money sink is forced upon a lot of people, as a lot of people need to get their max, well, they don't need to, they really want to get their max capes back, so they're going to spend a few $100 mil to get it done as quickly as possible, and they're theoretically spending a few $100 mil to get their max cape back, which is an interesting thought. But I still think it's good for the game. The skill is definitely needed. Well, the skill's not. The money sink is definitely needed. I just think they implemented it the wrong way by implementing it as the first elite skill in RuneScape. So the first elite skill in RuneScape being a money sink, a huge money sink, just disguised as a sloppy skill. So that's just my opinions on the skill itself, or the money sink, whatever you want to call it. Leave your feedback and comments down below. Tell me what you think and how you found Invention to be so far. Maybe I'm wrong on some of my points. Maybe you can get these really awesome gizmos really easily, although I hope you can't, else that would also be a major drawback to the skill. So leave a comment down below what you think of the skill in general and any feedback you have. And please drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more, and I'll see you again soon.